This week we're going to look at Ole Miss running the power read with Matt Corral in 2021, something that you really wouldn't have thought they would have done. Corral obviously being a first-round draft pick. They ran power read and ran him a lot more than you would have thought just based off of his arm talent and everything they do, but really dynamic runner. Definitely going to be an asset for him at the next level as well. The base rules for power read are pretty simple, so you're just blocking power, but instead of blocking the C-gap defender, you're actually reading him right here. Ole Miss is motion their receiver here, so he's their sweep guy. So a lot of people used to call it kind of an inverted veer, but with this puller, obviously they call it power read, but right here, just basically an inverted veer. Just now the dive back is the quarterback instead of the running back. And the base rules would be inside gap, backside linebacker. Obviously, I think right here, you run through just your basic power rules. Right here, basically center over, you're going inside gap to backside linebacker. Right there, probably going to go first down on the backside. So you're going to double there to backside. Again, leaving him for the read. And this tackle back here is probably going to gap hinge, stab to that gap, especially if you got a hard B-gap player. Hinge back to this end late because he's got the furthest to go to the ball. But we'll look at how they ran it against 4 fronts, 3 fronts, and a few different things that they did as far as the different wrinkles and how they're able to use it as an effective run game and change up in lots of different situations. This look right here, he's going to take C-gap and take the first one on that track that shows up. Might be this front side backer even. Double there to backside linebacker. He's going to pull for the front side. Could be an outside backer, safety rolling down, whatever shows up. Gap hinge right there. We'll roll it and see exactly what takes place. So they're motioning their guy right here. You see getting a little mesh with the slide there, just one slide step. Running back's going out there to the corner. These guys are cracking right here. They're taking most dangerous, so that if there is a give right there to the receiver, it'd be a lot of space out there to run. But right here, as you can see, if you're reading this DN, his very first step kind of tells you what it's going to be. So he goes outside wide step. He's definitely a C-gap player, and he's actually shuffling out with that read. So you can see right there, there's a big alley right there for the quarterback to go. Look at this blocking just a little bit more. You see how he steps down, the tackle steps, and he just chases right there because he sees that motion, and he runs with it. Really distorts these linebackers. These linebackers are flowing hard. A 3rd and 8 right here. So I'm not sure exactly what they were thinking was about to take place with this motion, but these guys are flying hard with that motion, getting out of there, and that creates a large lane right there to run. Ole Miss exploited this with a couple different quarterback runs throughout this game with some big gains. And right there you can see huge alley there for Corral to roll through. But obviously Tennessee's SEC defense, those guys are going to get off blocks, run to the football, and they're able to trip him up there before he gets the first down. Here against Tennessee again, getting motioning right here. 4-2 box, so they're probably going to double there to backside linebacker, lock back, gap hinge, pulling for the front side right there. There's the read. Going to go out there. Not sure exactly what they're going to do right here. It looks like a little bit of man coverage. You might be able to crack right there, but right there they play man on. He's out there at least for most dangerous right here. It's that back, or for if it was a give read, and this end would have squeezed. So right here again, you can see the very first step, even though he steps with his inside foot, he doesn't squeeze extremely hard. And Corral knows that he's going to have a chance to hit that thing vertically. And they actually get that puller that comes around right here for the front side linebacker here. He takes 2 from 1. So he's able to kick this linebacker, putting his play side shoulder on it. He's actually able to get that front side linebacker and that defensive end in the same gap. And now they're running right there. If you look at it, this backside tackle is supposed to double to this backside guy, and he flies way over the top with that motion. So now he's just rolling up all the way to that safety. And right here, Corral does a great job of hitting it vertical. And you see his speed right there is pretty good. He looks pretty athletic right here with his pull, and he's going vertical with a head of steam right there with a tackle leading all the way up to the safety. So big gain right there for Ole Miss in this game against Tennessee, which is obviously a tight game. Look at it one more time. Again, going back, gap hinge right there. You can see how they're doing with their line. Great double team going to this backer that had flown way over the top of that motion, so he just stays on his track and goes. Helps to create a big play. Great job by Corral of being aggressive and hitting that thing as fast as he can downhill for a big gain right there against Tennessee. Here's a look here against Louisville where they're in a 3 front. They have a 4 out here front side, and they actually arc this tackle all the way out to the front side. Again, they're just telling these guys to stay on this double team on his nose so they can pull around for the backside, gap hinge right there. Again, still reading that guy, just going to arc that to see if they can get around to that linebacker. And as you play it right here, you can see with that arc, it influences that 4-eye. He's trying to get hands on him, not let him get a free release right there. It should be a pull read. And as you can see, he's getting upfield outside. Just that initial step with that arc block, which could be a great influence right there, gives you a pretty easy read right there. We're going to get downhill. Good job. he gets his feet behind him so he can get going downhill before that back even crosses. You can see his feet, boom, they're getting set where he can push off as he's crossing, going vertical with a head of steam right there. There's the puller mashing that linebacker, and obviously with that look from the running back, these guys are going horizontal and not fitting downhill like you typically would when you see that power coming in that guard pulling. So these guys are going horizontal. Now that guard's obviously got more momentum than this linebacker's able to put him on skates right there. So good job right there getting downhill by Corral. Real interesting how that power read will get those linebackers to stay flat as opposed to coming downhill when they see that power and fitting those gaps. So really good call. They did a great job changing it up in a bunch of different games and getting pretty decent gains every time they ran it. Right here with a different look from Arkansas. And if you look at Arkansas's defense at all through the year, they do a bunch of different ways they fit stuff. So right here, this is basically a 3-3, 3-high look, all that stuff. Not exactly sure what they'd have. If you just drew this up on the board, you say, hey, we're doubling there to there. Gap hinge on that. We're going to pull for right there. He's going to sift up for whatever shows up. And maybe this backer coming in here. We'll look at it and see exactly what takes place right here. You get the motion. There's the mesh. These guys are blocking most dangerous. That running back's getting out there, helping to seal the edge. So if you're looking at him up front, looks like he's eyeballing right here. So he steps inside gap, obviously with that wide 5. Once he starts flowing that way with the motion, he just goes through that shoulder all the way up to him. Right here, if you look back, getting a good double team there on the nose. Doesn't even look like they're worried about it at all. So as far as getting up to the backer, might just said, hey, we're going to mash that guy and move him vertically, which is what they do right there. They actually have a puller right there coming around for that back side. And if you look at this front side tackle, once this guy disappears, he's actually there for that backside as well because he doesn't want to chase out wide. Because I'm sure they said, hey, that running back's going to get that linebacker if it's a give. If it's a pull, and we're going downhill right here, just stay in the box because your job is to protect the box right there for the quarterback run. And if you're looking at the read here, gets a little bit of a slide. And obviously being that wide 5, if he doesn't just crash down hard, that's going to be a pull and he's going to run right downhill at that A gap. That really good double team they're getting right there. So again, he hesitates just a little bit. So Corral's pulling it, going vertical, getting behind those guys. On 2nd and 10, falls forward right there for about 8 yards. Doing a great job of staying in the box. Really light box there from Arkansas. And obviously, if you can get downhill with a guy that you believe is a good runner like Corral is, able to get 7 or 8 yards pretty easily right there. Another interesting look here from Ole Miss. They start off in a bunch. They motion their guy over this way, and they bring him back, running power read over to the right towards this condensed set. So going to block most dangerous right there. Have a lead blocker up for that corner of safety. Double there to back side. He's going to work right there. Pulling for the front side right here. Since it's a 3-3 stack, should be able to take care of those 3-3 right there. Gap hinge on 4-eye backside. Might be kind of tough to get down there to it, but we'll play it and see. So right there's the motion comes across, gets set, starts coming back. That's when they snap it. Again, getting a little slide there with the quarterback. There's your read. As you can see right here, he's a lot tighter than he was with that tight 5. Still a 5 tech, but pretty tight right there. It's going to be a tight window for that quarterback to pull and try to get downhill. So right there, good give read. Right here's the puller coming around. Not sure exactly where they're working to, but again, getting a great double team right there, mashing all that together, getting vertical, trying to help right there for if it is a pull by the quarterback. But instead we get a give, working outside shoulder. You can see he's working right there. As he goes in the box right there, he cracks first inside. There's a tailback all the way out on the corner. And now they're rolling. They're circling the defense. They got these safeties rolling down, trying to stop him from getting that first down on 2nd and 4. Pretty good job here by the corner, coming and setting the edge. Trying to turn that back in. Safeties aren't able to make the play before he gets to the sticks. But right there again, being aggressive there. They're cracking guys inside. Take the most dangerous, make this corner come down and tackle with a guy lead blocker to him. Make the deepest guy come and make these plays right here with these safeties. They're able to still make him miss just enough to get this first down. Good job setting the edge, but then safety's not able to make a play before he gets first down.